My name is Katherine Feeney, and I work at Beckett Square, which is the independent consulting firm that I founded in early 2019. I think there are a couple of trends in private equity right now that are really driving the demand and, quite frankly, the usefulness of independent consultants. I think first, deals are increasingly competitive, and funds have to be more competitive in the way that they approach their deals. And utilizing independent consultants to advance diligence matters that maybe the team doesn't have expertise in or just doesn't have time to address, or perhaps even bringing them in earlier in the process so that the fund can be more aggressive with their preliminary bids. Just knowing more about the company, and also knowing more about the company going into management presentations, I think can be a real differentiator for private equity funds in this increasingly competitive environment. And in addition to the increasing competition and the increasing valuations, you also have increasing transaction expenses. And a lot of funds are really looking to better control, better manage those transaction expenses, particularly as other traditional deal advisors become more and more expensive. And so using independent consultants can be a way for funds to better manage transaction expenses by going with smaller firms doing more focused work versus going with one of the bigger firms that just does a whole full scope of great work, but that's not always necessary, and quite frankly not always affordable when you're trying to manage those expenses. One of the greatest value drivers of folks like myself, of independent consultants, particularly that are specializing in commercial due diligence, is just fluency with research methodologies and analytical analyses, analytical methods, and different kinds of analyses. I think I'm very used to different kinds of work streams that are common in commercial due diligence, whether that's writing surveys and spinning up survey vendors to execute them, or fluency with common publicly available databases. And my ability to do that in a more efficacious way and save teams time and money is really valuable. And I think in addition to those kind of more practical and tactical value drivers, also just having folks come in and be part of the deal team who are more objective, who are able to take an outside-in look, to look at the target objectively without some of the perhaps internal conversations that have been going on, and without some of the occasional biases, particularly if we think about add-on or roll-up acquisitions. There's always a drive to get these deals done, but part of my job and part of my value add is coming in with that objectivity and helping my clients understand, just at the end of the day, is this a good target? Is this a good business to be in or not? Clients bring me in honestly at all different points in the process. And as I mentioned earlier, I think I'm seeing clients start to bring me in even earlier in the process than they had been previously. So even before there's exclusivity. And I think a lot of the value that myself and folks like myself can add is in helping funds and other financial sponsors just get that initial almost 101 on the market and on the company. So again, because I have fluency in a lot of these research methodologies, I can pretty quickly get to an answer on sort of the lay of the land. So what the market dynamics are, who the main competitors are, how the decision-making process works along the value chain. And the earlier, again, with the increasing competition and quite frankly, insane valuations in most industries right now, a lot of funds are seeing that having that knowledge earlier is helping them be more competitive in the bid process. I do not believe that my role is to rubber stamp their proposed investment. And I think you do run into some funds, or not even funds, but you might run into some deal teams, and that's really what they're looking for. And I really pride myself on being someone who provides an objective opinion and being someone who is informed by the facts and the analysis that I conduct, and being willing to stand up for my analysis and being willing to stand up for my findings is a huge part of what I do. And I often, when I'm first speaking with potential new clients, I do my best to make that clear, because I don't think it's valuable to them for me to rubber stamp a deal, particularly if we think it might not be a great one. I always say that the most value I can provide is helping my clients avoid a bad deal. And for me, that's really important. It's also, quite frankly, better aligned with my ethics and just how I want to conduct myself in my business, is to be true to the work that I'm doing and not just to be there to rubber stamp their perspective.